talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got. Dream turn. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We installed down.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Stick the oar.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 10, first down Arizona. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. That goes for 14 yards. First down Cardinals. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Smith. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Gallup getting it on the jet sweep. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well, look now at our starting defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Let's go, baby.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And here's a starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
Lewis now to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Have to admit, I was extreme. Impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 39.
Here we go.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing is Lewis. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. To throw is Lewis on 1st down. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. There you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass in the new season.
And he had a strong rookie year. So much more expected of him this one, as you might imagine. He threw that one with confidence and assuredness.
And I noticed that the celebration a little bit more subdued than his first touchdown pass last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he certainly is acting like he's done it before.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Come on now, let's
The
go.
Cardinal offense here ready to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line.
No, it's out. Smith lost it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Good job.
And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at the 33.
That's it, baby. We got work.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On first down, Lewis. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Lewis. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
43. I got you, Pop.
Now Lewis looking to throw on 2nd down. Forced it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chandler Jones, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Here's Lewis. From the gun, he'll throw. Goodwin able to haul it in. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jakeem Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now on 2nd and 13, Smith. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throwing is Smith. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Smith. This one caught by Isabella. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Smith.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Now it's Smith. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Back to throw, Smith. His throw incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but now it's third and goal. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on it,
he'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
43 in the mic. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 43 is the mic.
Back to throw. Lewis. He's going to look deep for more. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check four.
Lewis operating from the gun. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
58 to Mike. Here we go. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. They're not ready for this, man.
Lewis now. From the gun, he'll throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Metcalf once again the target, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, check, check.
To throw is Lewis. Going to throw again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. So we have reached halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Let's bring it.
Now Lewis on 1st and 10. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Lewis. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Lewis throwing on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here is incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin. And it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Lewis. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Smith now to throw. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And time now for the Seahawk defense to take their spots again on the field. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They go to Johnson again, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down, Arizona.
From the gun, here's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jadeveon Clowney racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Gallup getting it on a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. To throw is Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, but it'll be 2nd down. Lewis throwing again on 2nd and 10. He'll find Metcalf. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Lewis now operating from the gun. That's complete to his running back, Grant. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins, his second sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Check Nick. Let's go.
To throw is Lewis. Throwing on 3rd and long. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. Here we go.
Now Lewis. From the gun, he'll throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. Brilliant. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Too little, Cupcake.
Here's Lewis. Throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They snap it to Smith. And Ingram hauls it in. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on 2nd and 16, Smith. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go on fourth. Smith. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Looks like he'll throw here. Slings this deep from McLaurin. This is caught inside the 15.
Here we go.
It's a gain of 35. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Lewis. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something? Under pressure, they got him again.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And incomplete here. So that will leave them with 16 on the clock. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have...
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Zoom, zoom. 43 is the mic. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
To throw again. Lewis looking deep for Jet, and that's caught inside the 30.
That's it.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got